Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Very happy about the turnout. Didn't know this many people were interested in the prison system, but I'm delighted to see that. This is our first organization night. We've had one kind of official battery-powered night, which was the expert night. For those of you who missed it, we did film it. I know filming is not a thing that we do at the Battery. We only film the contents of the stage, so we're filming again tonight. We're not filming the audience, but we do want to be able to share this with those that aren't able to make it to these events. So we're filming the organization night, and we'll be sharing that online as well. So we're very happy to actually be fully underway and actually have the organizations, which is really what matters, and that's how we're going to hopefully change the system in this way. And we have 7 organizations speaking tonight, and very thankful to all the organizations that applied. We were blown away, and I know that sounds like a kind of cliche because that's what you're going to say, but we truly were blown away by the quality of applicants and the things that we learned through them. And we just pushed about 30 minutes ago, we put live on the website profiles of all the organizations that applied, and on allocation night there'll be the possibility to allocate money to any of the organizations. And there's detailed profiles. I'd recommend you all to look at the website. There's videos, there's great content. The guys at Amplify Strategies have been working very hard. As I say, they were only ready 30 minutes ago because they've been working around the clock to get it ready. But we did get it ready prior to organization night, and delighted to say that it's turned out incredibly well. I'm going to keep this very short. We have a lot of content to go through tonight, and we want to try and compress that into as short a period as possible. So we're only giving 10 minutes to each of the 7 organizations to talk, and hopefully they can get their points across in that time. We'd love to have all the organizations and give them an hour each, because I'm sure they could easily do that. But I'm going to hand over to Alison now for Amplifier to continue the evening, and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. And this is my colleague, Abby. I think many of you have met her. And we're for those who it's your first evening, thank you for being here. As Michael mentioned, this is our first time for Battery Powered to bring organizations into the Battery, and we're very excited about it. Just to give you a sense of what the process has been like for us, we work with a theme, and the theme unfolds over a quarter. We first start with research around the theme and a question. And our question for this quarter is, how do you break the cycle of incarceration? We had 1 month ago 5 experts who came. 5, right? 6. Yep. So 6 experts who came to visit with us, and that was an extraordinary evening. We learned so much from them. They shared personal stories of why they've committed their lives to this work, and there were a few things that they gave us in terms of takeaways that I think are important to remember as we meet with the experts and share their stories tonight. One really big overarching theme that the experts shared with us was how in this particular theme, small changes and small steps can lead to very big transformational changes. And you'll see that in the case of policy work. You'll see that in the case of developing new models that can be examples and can be adopted across the state. And I think there is a sense that this state also is very much a model for the rest of the country. And so really we heard from the experts over and over again around how focus and dedication on achieving small wins could actually catalyze transformative aspects of this system. And then we were given some things to think about around what are the next things to catalyze. There was a conversation around storytelling and really engaging and humanizing this issue and helping people to really get connected to something that many of us don't have a daily relationship with, although many of us in the room do, actually. So I think really how storytelling can transform and build momentum around the movement and around policy change, working on ballot initiatives, working on having like the reduction of a classification of a certain type of crime from a felony to a misdemeanor can really change drastically hundreds of thousands of lives overnight. So things like this. Matt Cate was one of our experts, and he was at the head of the prison system in California at one time, and he spoke about the notion of changing our idea around serving time and how much incarceration needs to really play a role and whether or not there is really an opportunity to extend the numbers into community supervision for nonviolent offenders, and to think about not building big, expensive, fixed infrastructure in which we have a need to fill in order to make it, capital efficient or, a good business model. And so I think that was really something that stuck with me. The idea of how people with mental illness are treated in the system was a big opener for me as well, and I think for many others. And the notion that mental health courts and a different kind of process could be involved. We were recommended to hire formerly incarcerated people, give them jobs, bring them into any opportunities that we have to be able to reintegrate within our community. We were recommended to mentor young people, teach reading, teach skills that could be employable, and then take the next step, like I said, and employ. So I think that is, my recollection and really what resonated and stuck with me from these experts, and it was so wonderful to be able to spend time with them. And then these last few weeks, we've had 37 applications, and in our organization, I can share with you honestly that it has completely shifted us as human beings to be in touch with this work with 37 organizations. It was very difficult to get to who would be presenting to you tonight. And so I think that I want to prepare you that it will be an emotional evening. These are emotional human stories, and it's also going to be an evening where hopefully you will leave realizing that you can do something tomorrow that would make a difference, a radical difference in the lives of other people. With that, I think, Abby, you have some things to tell us about how the evening is going to go. And
yeah,
great.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy
Thank you.
yourself.
In listening to feedback from people who were here from Experts Night, what everyone has told us was that they left with such a sense of hope and a sense that they could take a small step to make a big difference. And our goal for this evening is for you to have an opportunity to meet these 7 organizations who truly are taking steps, big and small, to create hope and to transform lives. Now, between battery-powered members and our philanthropy team, there were 40 organizations nominated to be part of tonight, and 37 completed applications. 24 of those completed their applications by our deadline to be candidates to come here tonight. And it was a really difficult job for our review team to look at all of this great work. And what we decided to do was look for organizations with exceptional aspects across a diversity of focus areas, with a diversity of leaders, and create an opportunity for you to learn and hear from them and hear their stories. And you'll notice that the materials that we provided for you this evening, you have a booklet that shares a bit about each of the 37 applicants. And you can go on the website now and you can learn more about them and see their videos and get to know their organizations. And in the coming weeks, for battery-powered members, you'll be able to access their full application as well as read our review of their work. Before we meet the 7 tonight, I'd like to remind you that you also did get to meet 2 organizations through Experts Night. You got to see a trailer on the return from Lotteria Films, and one of the filmmakers is here this evening, and her project is working on looking at how this transformative shift around Prop 36 is really changing lives and creating tremendous change, and it's a project that has potential to shift not just activity in California, but around the nation. And Scott Budnick, who is one of our expert speakers, is the founder of ARC Anti-Recidivism Coalition, which is creating opportunities for young people who've been in the justice system and helping them find pathways out. And it's a really tremendous group that he's working with. So many stories, so much great work. And without further ado, I would like to turn this over to the stars of the evening, our presenters. So thank you.